I feel like whenever you guys call me about relocating here to the Chicago suburbs, I always get the call, Naperville, Naperville, Naperville. So I kind of just want to answer the questions up front for you guys in this video. So I'm going to talk about the 7 things you may want to know when it comes to living here in Naperville. And we're getting started right now. Check it out. Alright, welcome back everyone. My name is Blankenship, your favorite Chicagoland realtor with Keller Properties. And the very first thing that you may want to know when it comes to making a move here and living here in Naperville, Illinois, is that according to niche.com, it's ranked nationally in a lot of different categories. Your #1 best city to raise a family in America, the #1 city with the best public schools in America, and it's also the #3 best city to buy a house as well to live in when it comes to being here in America. And it's always just crazy to me to see that and stuff like that, because I've just being in Glen Ellen, Naperville is just always right there to my west. And I'm in Naperville a ton. I go out there to hang out with my friends, go out there for work. I pretty much live, eat, and play in Naperville a good amount of my time here, 365 days a year. And it's just always such a cool thing to know that, Naperville is ranked so highly when it comes to, the nation. And, it's a lot of people ask me about Naperville, and I always just, point them to this direction, niche.com. And, you can do a lot of Googling and stuff like that. A lot of people that do relocate here to Naperville or ask me some questions and stuff like that. The best thing I usually just tell them to do is just go on Facebook and join one of the Naperville Facebook groups and just ask your question there, because you'll get the answer very unbiased, probably a little biased too, but directly from that person that lives here right in Naperville where you're looking to make a move. So that's the first thing that, you may want to know when it comes to making a move here to Naperville, is that, nationally ranked in a lot of different categories. And then the second thing you may want to know is that, I get a lot of calls also when it comes to making a move here to Naperville, and they always ask me, say, hey Brandon, I have a job in the city, don't want to live in the city, what's the most convenient and efficient way to get from Naperville to the city of Chicago for work? And pretty much, the nice thing about Naperville is that there's 2 metro stops here. There's one on 59, and there's one very, very close to downtown Naperville as well. I don't know my directions on the top of my head, but it's either south or north of Ogden. But basically, I'll post a link down below in the description that kind of goes over the schedule for the metro train station. And if you take the express train, which is there's some in the morning and some in the afternoon, after working hours as well. You just gotta catch at the perfect time, but it would take you about around 30 minutes to get to the city of Chicago, or from the city of Chicago back home to Naperville. So it's pretty convenient, and even if it's not just for work, just wanting to get out to the city as well. I mean, you can always drive there, take the highways and stuff like that. So Naperville, it's not a bad drive depending where you're at. I mean, if you're closer down to Naperville, it's probably a 40-45 minute drive. And it's probably the same if you're on the southwest portion of Naperville as well, closer to 59 and stuff like that. Probably 45 to an hour. But at the end of the day, if you're making a weekend trip out of it, or just you could spend a whole day down there and get a lot of stuff done, and hang out with family, friends, all that good stuff. Naperville's a good option for you. And I have a lot of people that kind of are in that boat that don't want to live in the city of Chicago, they just want to be in the burbs, and they end up in Naperville. And with the whole craziness going on and stuff right now, people aren't in the office every single day. Maybe they're in there once or twice a month. So, it's just a really good option for a lot of people that, that reach out to me. But that's just something you guys should know when living here in Naperville, is that you do have access to the city of Chicago, especially if you're working there or you're just a huge city advocate. Then the third thing that you may want to know when it comes to living here in Naperville is that the cost of living is pretty high. I'll pop an infographic right now on the screen, but when you compare Naperville to kind of Illinois and as the nation in general, Naperville is significantly higher than the averages, and a big part of that is due to kind of the housing prices here. I'm a real estate broker in the area, and if you're considering making a move with you and your family or just by yourself, give my team and I a call. We'd be absolutely honored to help you guys out. Call, text, shoot me an email. Information down below in the description. That was the shameless plug. I didn't put it in the beginning this time, you guys, but just give me a call if you just want to chat out and stuff like that. But yeah, housing's pretty pricey here, when it comes to rent, to purchasing a home as well. But I have a great team behind me that can help you out. And I'm going to be honest with you guys as well, is that living here in the western suburbs is pretty pricey in general, honestly. But just because it's pretty pricey, there's a lot of great schools here that we're going to touch base on here in Naperville too. But a lot of great schools, a lot of great things to do, and Naperville is just a great place to live. I mean, the #1 thing I told you guys, that as a neighborhood has so many different accolades and stuff like that. And there's probably a price tag to that, right? And I'm not gonna be biased or anything like that. I guess I'm pretty biased, but I grew up around the area, and I think I came out pretty okay. But yeah, number 3, the thing that you guys probably need to know is that the cost of living in Naperville. Infographic on the screen. I'll post a link down below in the description as well. Number 4 is that Naperville has a pretty great job market over here. Typically, a lot of the calls that when I get that come to me from this YouTube channel when people ask me about relocating here to the Naperville area, it's either because of 2 things. One is that they got job relocation, whether it be into the city or a job here in the Naperville area, or 2 is that they're originally from the Midwest or they're from Illinois, and they're kind of just coming back here, and they always just like pick Naperville for some reason. But those are usually the 2 reasons. But Naperville's a pretty good job market over here. I'll drop some links down below in the description as well. But some of the big employers when it comes to living here in Naperville are Nokia, BP, Edwards Hospital, and District 203 and District 204, which is the school districts here in the Naperville area. And if you have kids and you want them to go work when they're 16, like I did, and my parents, maybe my first job was at like Jewel Osco when I was 16. But there's a lot of different jobs for kids and high schoolers over here to kind of grab a job to work. One of my good buddies when we were growing up, he worked at the Naperville Park District, absolutely loved it. He would start very early in the morning, and then he would be done by like 12, and it was kind of perfect because he'd have his whole day ahead of him. But if you have kids in high school and stuff like that, and you kind of just want to get a job and start making some money and stuff like that, there's a lot of different places to grab a part-time gig around here, from different grocery stores, Target, Walmart, your general stores, restaurants, and all the stuff like that. But job market's pretty good here in Naperville, especially if you kind of just relocating here, don't have a job yet, and you're looking for something like that. Naperville can be a great option, and the surrounding areas, but I'm not going to talk about the surrounding areas in this video. Number 5 is the schools. You guys always ask me about this as well when coming to living here in Naperville, and you guys always ask me, how are the schools here in Naperville? Well, I can't really talk about schools and stuff like that, and kind of point you on where to go when it comes to schools. But I use niche.com a lot, and niche.com ranks Naperville schools very, very high, and just like along the western burbs as well. A lot of the public schools here in the western burbs are ranked pretty high as well. But Naperville school districts, Naperville 203 and 204, I'll pop some things on the screen right now, and I'll also drop these infographics and the websites to both districts in the description down below as well. But you can see here for Naperville 203, here are kind of like the fast facts, is that Naperville 203, there are 23 schools. There is about 17,000 students in Naperville 203 with a graduation rate of 96%. With a student-to-teacher ratio of 16:1. The teachers there, 84% of them have a master's degree, and there are 1.2 million meals served annually. And then when it comes to Naperville District 204, popped up on the screen right now, is that there are a total number of schools, 33, 1 preschool, 21 elementary, 7 middle schools, 3 high schools, 1 alternative high school, with the 27,400 students enrolled and everything like that. And there's a student ethnic distribution as well right there. And basically, if you are looking for a certain elementary, middle school, high school, let me know, because there's the subdivisions here in Naperville that we can kind of pinpoint it and put you in that specific school district that you kind of prefer and everything like that. And I can help you out in making that move and send you private listings and all that good stuff here in Naperville. Just shoot me a call, text, or email, information down below in the description. But yeah, schools, people usually ask me about when it comes to living here in Naperville, Illinois, and you can always just call the school districts. That's usually what I recommend. Or maybe even going in the Facebook groups as well, and kind of networking with the Naperville residents in the area already, asking about them, and because they have kids in the school districts already as well. But yep, that's kind of what I want to talk about Naperville when it came to schools. And then on to the next. Number 6 on the list of things you need to know when it comes to living here in Naperville is that there's a lot of great places to grab food here. And if you've watched any of my videos before, I always talk about food. I always talk about the Chick-fil-A in Wheaton. But let's talk about Naperville food right now, right? So I live in the Glen Ellen area, and for food, I usually go, honestly, to like Freedom Commons area, which is like in the North Naperville portion. And what I usually grab there to eat is Shinto. Before the pandemic and everything like that, they had an awesome deal on Monday where they had half off on their specialty rolls, and it was probably, I could spend $20 there, get pretty full. And I love eating sushi. I usually can't go to like those, a la carte ones. I have to get like all you can eat. but it fills me up pretty well. Great brunch spot is Buttermilk. I've been really into grabbing ramen at the H Mart, which is along Ogden, right next to the new Costco that just opened up, which is pretty cool. Downtown Naperville has a lot of great places to eat as well, from, you know, Empire. There's a lot of fine dining places as well over there. I mean, you got your normal stuff like Chipotle. But I've been, you know, going a lot to the Evergreen place, which has the grilled cheese sandwiches. And then they just opened a Dave's Hot Chicken. Like I said, I'm a huge hot chicken fan, Nashville hot chicken fan. And they opened a Dave's Hot Chicken. I know they had them a lot in Los Angeles when I was living there, and I grabbed them over there a lot. But, you know, they have Dave's Hot Chicken kind of the southwest portion of Naperville. Pretty good. I'd recommend going there. When I was there when it first opened, the lines weren't too crazy, but I'd always recommend going out over there as well. And, you know, what I usually like to do, especially when I'm trying to, you know, find new places out to eat, especially in Naperville, I always just like drop a comment down below in like the What's Happening in Naperville Facebook group, and I always get like 50 to 100 comments. It's pretty funny actually. But yeah, something you need to know is that when making a move here is that, you know, there's some great food here, you know, food, breweries, brunch spots, all that good stuff. And if you are coming here for the weekend, give me a call, because I'd love to come out with you, grab a beer with you, and, you know, kind of talk about it, especially if you're thinking about making a move here to Naperville, Illinois. Last but not least, there's a lot of things to do living here in Naperville, and this is something that you may need to know, because a lot of people always say, you know, it's boring in the burbs, I want to go out in the state of Chicago, but, you know, I've been living in the burbs my kind of whole life, and, you know, I could always just go to the state of Chicago if I want to, but there's a lot of great things to do out here. I mean, there's a lot of parks and recreations where I'll drop links down below in the description where you can kind of see, and I'm probably going to post up on the screen right now, that you can see like all the different parks around here, you know, forest preserves and all that good stuff. Two things that my nephews love doing here when it comes to being in Naperville, because they live in Lisle, is that, you know, one, they love going to the DuPage Children's Museum, and two, they love walking along the Riverwalk and kind of being annoying and stuff like that. Those are two things they love. For me, you know, I'm always kind of just going out, trying new places to eat, hanging out in downtown Naperville. A lot of colleagues and I, and, you know, a lot of business partners and friends as well, is, you know, we always kind of go down downtown Naperville, whether it's to go to a happy hour or grab a place to eat, or even just like go out for, you know, the night and stuff like that. What I like doing, especially for happy hour, is just kind of like sitting out in Potter's in the patio downtown Naperville. It's always, you know, a good time with some really good vibes. And, you know, there's a lot of different things to do when, you know, going with the family, hanging out with the kids, going on a date, and even just going out for like a good night, and you don't have to go to downtown Chicago for it. So those are a few things to, you know, do when it comes to living here in Naperville. Personally, for me, something you guys need to know is that, personally, I think there's a lot of great things to do. But that's kind of my list of 7. You know, if you enjoyed this video, hit the subscribe button, drop a comment, leave a like, because I tell YouTube I'm doing a great job of making this video kind of thing. If you consider on buying, selling, or investing in real estate here in the Naperville area or anywhere in the Chicagoland area, the team and I would be absolutely honored to help you guys out. Call, text, me an email. Information down below in the description. Watch one of these videos up here and let me know what you guys want to see next. I want to keep making these videos for you guys, and I'll see you guys on the next one.